Good day, good day, good day, good morning, good night, good evening, depending on where you're watching from. It's a Sunday here in beautiful Barbados in the Caribbean. I often make trips here for some business, and this is also my second home, actually the third home. Uganda, US, and the Caribbean. So I'm excited to come here, take you on a journey of my morning walk. I've really had a long walk, and I was also looking for meat. So it's in the countryside. It's lovely. It's not that too hot. So I stopped by to check on you guys and say, how are you doing? How has God been keeping you? Yes, I'm on the roadway in the countryside, and I'm thanking God for a new day. So what's happening? What has God been doing in your life? The last time we're talking about the wellness situations, where you think it's unfair to be going what you're going through. But you see, like we say, the children of Israel, that was their path to the promised land, the land of milk and honey, so that God will be God. Probably if they had gone by the highway, they would have had an opportunity to return back, because they had started complaining about how they had at least food, they had work to do, though they were slaves, but they had something to eat, where to sleep, and they thought the journey was long. But for God to show them that He's more than where they were, He could feed them, He wanted to be their God, He caused them to pass by that way. And behold, we saw the power of God. We saw manna coming through in the wilderness, food, bread, water, and they walked through it. The Bible talks about 40 years, and their shoes were never worn out. Where there is God, there is abundance. God can show up Himself everywhere, in any situation. So yes, I just want to remind you that in these times where of uncertainty, you need to ask God, what are you teaching me? What do you want me to learn? Where are you taking me? Lord, I yield to you. I yield to you. I yield to you. I yield to you. Speak to me. Guide me. That is the time of surrender, that God may show Himself strong. That's the time to wait on Him. That's not the time to think the worst of it, because the devil is already defeated, is already under your feet. And I want to let you know that there is no situation that you go through that God is not aware of. And that's the mistake that we make as human beings. You get into a situation, you see someone going through something, and you wonder, but God is not shocked. He knew you before you were formed in your mother's belly, and He ordained you as a prophet. God has never been shocked. That's why you should not be taken up by media. Oh, this has happened to this one. Oh, can you imagine this happened? To God, it's not a shock, because He's Himself. He's the great I am. He knows the beginning from the end. He knows the future from the beginning. Like, there is nothing that takes God by surprise. So you should not be found in the seat of scorners, talking about people. Oh, can you imagine? How could this happen? How could that happen? Just know that the God who created those people already knew what they would go through, and believe me, He has already made a way out already. So I want to encourage you that you should live in life not thinking that whatever happens is by mistake. No, God knew it, and He'll get you through it, and you'll come out as a victor. And don't think that whatever is happening around you is really so hard to come out, because already God knew that you'll go through it. And that's why we should stop looking at God and reducing Him to human beings, to our timing, to our biological maker, to the physical, to the financial status. There is nothing that brings God or takes God by surprise. So if you're trusting God for everything, you should also be like God. You should not be there and say, oh my goodness, what? How could that happen? No, when you're living in a God realm, if you call yourself a child of God, you should wake up every day and be like, okay, that's what the news is saying. That has happened. Lord, you're in control. We are coming out. You know, don't see someone has fallen or someone has gone through stuff and they're struggling and you think that's the end of them. No, God knew. God knew. And he will get them through. He's never taken by surprise. And remember, you carry the DNA of God. You're a child of God. You should not, yes, we're human beings, we have that element of surprise. But when you have come out of your human element, like you have embraced and soaked in what is going around, get back to your spiritual sense, your divine nature, and say, come on, I'm going to stand up and continue progressing because God knew that this would happen and He's going to get me throughout. So when you live that life of consciousness, that God is already aware of what is going to happen, you're not going to sit around with corners, with naysayers, with, people are always surprised and something comes up in media and everyone is jumping on someone like as if, that is the end of the world. Of course, if you're living in the natural realm and all you do is to live your life depending on the physical, yes, you're going to be surprised, you're going to sit with corners, you're going to waste time. Instead of developing yourself, you'll be wasting time sitting and, looking out for what is happening in town, around town. Yeah, but if you're in the divine realm, you realize that, no, this is the time to progress. While everyone is sitting and scorning and, talking about this and that, it's time for me to go and progress. So bye, cheers. My bus has come. I'm going to take a bus for Sergeant Street. See ya.